Hello everyone, and welcome back to the final part of Sonic Heroes on the Microsoft Xbox. I am one well sheep yet again, now it's time for the final story.
I think I see the silhouette of the real villain.
Ooh, spooky! Now we have a lot of cutscenes to actually do this time around, ladies and gentlemen, so yeah, it's gonna be some time until we actually get into gameplay this time around.
Then who was it? Who locked you up here for trying to conquer the world?
It was...
All living things kneel before your master.
Jesus Christ, how long is this transformation going on? It's a very long transformation, folks. Hey.
Metal Sonic has finally transformed!
That's Metal Sonic?
It's useless! Metal Sonic has combined your data with the power of chaos and is super strong! We can't defeat it! Ah! If only we had the 7 Chaos Emeralds!
Well, isn't that convenient?
What's this? But how? Even with the Emerald's power, our chances for victory are slim. It would take a miracle.
Just leave that to me, Doc.
Sonic, no, I'm going with you too.
Tails.
You can count me in, too.
Knuckles.
Okay, guys, we'll buy you some time. That way you can use your superpowers.
Okay then, let's get ready to do this. We'll show that creep the real superpower of teamwork.
And there we are, ladies and gentlemen. It is now time to take care of Metal Sonic, the big bad one of this game, ladies and gents. And basically, to start things off, you basically need to swap out to whatever formation is the color that isn't showing on Metal Sonic's giant fuck me light. If the giant fuck me light is red, you can't use power formation to hurt him. If the fuck me light is yellow, you can't use flight formation to hurt him. And if the fuck me light is blue, then you can't use speed formation to hurt him. So you need to manage your you basically need to manage your formations correctly during the course of this one. And during the course of as you're fighting him, basically Metal Sonic has a couple of attacks up his sleeve. First thing first, he has these rockets. These rockets will encapsulate your characters in these crystals. If you get caught, all 3 characters get caught in those crystals, then you will die. He has a flamethrower attack, which you can quite easily jump over, and he has a tail whip attack, which you can also quite easily jump over. Honestly, Metal Madness by his first form of Metal Sonic is not that difficult whatsoever. But I do kind of like the fact that it has all of the teams working together in order to take him down. And on each battlefield, every time you go to a new battlefield, a new team to take care of Metal Sonic, you'll notice that your main character's levels will get reset. We're all currently on level 1. So I recommend going looting around the area first in order to get your power-ups to each of your gauges in order to inflict damage on good old Metallic Madness, good old Metal Sonic by here. What can I tell ya? What can I tell ya? Indeed. I know during the course of the entire fight as well, you'll have Male Sonic taunting you, giving you smack talk, if you will. And I kind of like Male Sonic's voice in this because it's basically, it's actually the same voice as Sonic. The only difference is they sort of have like a robotic noise over the top of it, alongside of I don't know, just making it sound a lot more monotone and demonic at the same time. It's really good. I love the way Male Sonic sounds in this one. And this boss fight as a whole is a pretty fun one, I'll tell you that much. It just can be a little bit tricky your first time through trying to figure out on how to take this geezer down. What can I tell you, ladies and gentlemen? But this boss fight here basically has 3 phases. First phase is Team Rose, second phase is Team Chaotix, and the third phase is against... No, not against, but it's with Team Dark, you know, ladies and gentlemen. And what I'm doing right by here with the homing attack, I do not recommend this. The homing attack is without a doubt the worst way to take care of this boss fight. The homing attack is a bit of a minor pain in the ass to use, you know, folks. So, I would recommend using every character except for the speed formation. Otherwise, there is a very high risk of you actually falling to your deaths. What can I tell you? And of course, as you can probably guess, Super Sonic's going to get involved in this. And... judging from that last cutscene, you would think that Super Tails and Super Knuckles would finally make their return ever since the Genesis games, wouldn't you? You would think they will be back from the Mega Drive adventures. Well, I'm going to spoil it right now, they don't, and it's such a massive, massive, massive cock tease. I do not like the fact what they did with Super Tails and Super Knuckles, but I will talk about that when we get to it, when we actually get to the final boss itself. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, you know, folks. But yeah, there's no levels to this. All you have to do with this final story is fight the 2 boss fights, and that is that. And there are exactly 2 boss fights. Both of them are Metal Sonic as well. And I don't know. I noticed this it's a bit of a trend with Dr. Eggman now, with his metallic minions failing him, and I just seen a trend with Dr. Eggman losing control of all the bad guys that he you know. Basically, all the main bad guys he usually uses, I noticed he doesn't have the best control over them. And this is something that's going to trend in the series way up until quite a bit later down the line, you know, folks. And it's going to be quite a long time until we get a full-blown, proper final boss fight against good old Dr. Eggman himself normally, which, you know, some people may get annoyed at, but I don't mind too much. Like, the Monster of the Week formula is pretty damn neat. That's what I call this, by the way, because it's basically what it is. Every single game is basically a new monster that you have to fight for the most part up until the more recent games at the time of this recording, you know. I don't mind the formula as much as a lot of other people hate it, but it is something that I know a lot of people get annoyed by. By the way, I just died because I used the homing attack, but thanks to editing, I don't have to deal with him again.
Sonic, we're counting on you.
How appropriate to have a robot overlord rule a robot kingdom.
Whatever you say, you metal fool.
Long time no see, Sonic. My loathsome copy.
And there we are, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the final fight against Metal Sonic himself with some of the most... I absolutely love this song. The song in the background is actually What I'm Made Of by Crush 40. It's a fantastic tune and a perfect final boss theme for this game, I'll tell you that much. But right from the get-go, you can't attack Metal Sonic directly. You need to increase your Team Blast gauge by dodging his attacks and attacking his attacks and counter-attacking, basically. And basically, when your Team Blast gauge goes up to enough, that is when you're able to flat-out attack Metal Sonic directly, you know, ladies and gentlemen. But one thing that kind of bugs me, why does Tails and Knuckles get this dinky shield? Why aren't they super form? I mean, I know Super Form Tails and Super Form Knuckles basically amounts to them basically being a slightly brighter version of their own versions. But I don't know, the Dinky Shield just really feels like a cop-out, and it's just really, I guess, boring to look at. I would prefer if they actually did go into a proper Super Form, you know, but maybe that's just me nitpicking. What can I tell ya? But this boss fight itself, I actually do quite enjoy, but you are very likely to die during the first time playing because you need to get used to a brand new gameplay style. Because, while all the team controls are basically exactly the same, you still move forward or move back, you press the attack button to attack, all that usual jazz the same way as before. You know, it can take a little bit of getting used to, because Metal Sonic will move about in the environment, and you will move about in correlation to wherever he's moving in the environment, so your controls are a little bit tricky to get used to. And you also need to, in true Super Form fashion, keep an eye out of your rings, because the moment your rings hit 0, you are going to die, ladies and gentlemen, you know, folks, so you do need to be very careful about that. You do need to keep an eye out and take care of enemies whenever you can. When you swap over to Knuckles, he has the ability to throw fireballs, which we will be needing to use in order to take down giant enemy ships. And Tails' Thunder Shoot ability is pretty much exactly as it was before, which I advise using in order to take care of Metal Sonic's giant fuck you missiles he shoots at you. And whenever he shoots some giant crystals as well, you're going to want to homing attack into them using Sonic, and that's usually a really quick way to get the team blast gauge up. And also the ability to use the glitch in order to boost the gauge up manually. That works in this boss fight, so you can actually cheese this boss fight in less than a minute if you really, really want to. For the sake of showing it off, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be showing off the boss fight in its entirety as you normally would play through it. But honestly, I love this boss fight. I love the music, I love the atmosphere, and I love what they've done to Metal Sonic's personality, how he has a sort of ego complex against Sonic because he believes he's the true Sonic, and the original version is actually a copy of him. I don't know, I like the idea of this. And I honestly wish they bring back Metal Sonic, you know, there's a lot they can do with him. Oh, and he has Chaos Control. It doesn't really do anything. Like, he'll probably get something to attack you with, but literally Chaos Control does nothing. It doesn't help that he has the aim of a bloody stormtrooper. The damn ship went straight over my head. Jesus Christ. But yeah, for the most part, it's still a pretty simple boss fight when you get the mechanics down, but it's definitely a fun one. It's definitely one I quite enjoy. It's definitely, I don't like it nearly as much as I like the Supersonic boss fights in Adventure 2 or Adventure 1, but it's definitely one that's still enjoyable in its own right, and the music itself, I'd just say it's worth playing for the music alone. I absolutely adore the song in the background, and for the longest time this was one of my favourite Sonic tracks. It still is one of my favourites, but I digress.
Man, he's tough.
Is he invincible?
It's not over yet. Let's show him what we're made of.
See me as I am, no longer afraid of anything.
I do like the banter that goes on between the characters as well during the course of the fights. This is when I complained earlier about the characters talking in the levels, this is the kind of talking I would like to see during the rest of the game, you know, where all the characters are discussing things, they're talking, and they're actually doing character building as they go through the stage. I wouldn't have minded it so much if the characters were talking like this during the course of the stages instead of, look at all those Eggman's robots, but you know, I do quite like it. It adds a lot of character, what can I tell you?
I am the ultimate overlord, Metal Sonic. I am the real Sonic.
Yeah, we did it!
Phew, that was pretty tough.
Too bad it's all over. For you!
Oh, you sure told him, Sonic. Too bad it's all over. For you! But anyway, that is it with Sonic Heroes, ladies and gentlemen. That is it with the playthrough once and for all. We have just completed this fantastic game. And honestly, Sonic Heroes, it's not as bad as I remember. It's actually still quite an enjoyable game. I really do I really do love this game through and through. It's got fantastic music. I mean, soundtrack's just phenomenal. The level design is pretty damn good, and apart from the fact it's extremely repetitive to play through, it's still a fun romp that I would actually recommend anybody go out of their way to try out, you know, folks, and it's definitely a good time. What can I tell ya? what can I tell you that much? In fact, I'm pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoyed the game after remembering my horrible days when I first played it on the PS2, you know? So, it's good to know that doing this LP has given me a bit of a fresh thoughts on this game and just sort of revitalized what I think of it. I do enjoy this one, folks. This is a pretty damn fine game. And it does have its problems here and there, but, it's nothing too terrible. What can I tell you? But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave you off the final cutscene and basically the end game music of the game as well. So, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people. And I'll catch you all next time in the Sonic series when we take a sheepish look at Sonic Battle. I'm not doing a full LP of that game. You guys... No. Sonic Battle's way too repetitive, even compared to this game, but I'll talk about that in the video of that game. So, thank you all for watching, hope you all enjoyed, don't be sheepish, I'll catch you all then. Bye!
It's no use. But why can't I defeat you?
Because we're Sonic heroes.
Sonic!
Anytime you want a rematch, just let me know. I'll be waiting.
Hey, Sonic, wait up! Sorry to leave like this, but I can't let my Sonic get away. Good luck,
Sonic sure has his hands full.
I guess I'm out of here too. I think I'll go hunt for someone else's treat.
She never gives up, does she? Oh, no, you don't. Wait!
Guess that's it for this case.
Guess so.
But what about our money?
Man, I almost forgot. That's slime ball!
All right! Our next adventure awaits us, so there's no time to waste. Yeah! We're Sonic heroes!
What goes up must come down. Yeah, my feet don't touch the ground. See the world spinning upside down. A mighty crash without a sound. I can feel your every rage. Step aside, I'll turn the page. Breaking through your crazy maze. Like a laser beam, my eyes on you. Watch me rule the night away. Watch me save the day. Feel my storm is getting close. Heading your way. Sonic hero. Sonic hero. Find you, can find you. Defying your way. Sonic hero. Sonic hero. Setting the stage for a hero parade. I won't even hesitate. A second left to alter fate. Try to strike, but a bit too late. I got to hook by my